Women, you guys are dreamers. Oh, what if? Oh, it could be in one. Oh, does he really? Oh, I'm sitting at night thinking about this guy. And that guy's come to me and said, I don't like her. Nope, I don't like her. And he's still gone on the next date with you. This individual is 6 months into courting this woman down the marriage route, basically. And he's not interested at all in the slightest. Assalamu alaikum guys, what's going on? My name is Sufyan and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today I'm going to be talking about, this is a message for all of the women, a message for all of the men. Today I'm going to be talking about the type of man that you should be avoiding at all costs. Stay away from him. Now, this man exists everywhere. I met this type of guy yesterday and the day before and the day before and even the day before that, and hopefully not, but ladies, sisters, you could be courting this type of guy right now, and let this be the warning sign. Yeah, run. Now, I have a lot of sympathy for this guy. I have a lot of empathy for this guy, not too much, but I also have a lot of contempt for this man. And the reason I have a lot of contempt for this man, he harbors a very negative place in my heart, is because I used to be this type of guy. If you met me somewhere way in the past when I was really, really young, don't worry, not in like a player toxic haram kind of way, but if you met me somewhere a long time ago, I was definitely the type of guy that you should have run a million miles from, because yeah, I was this guy. Now, women who are watching, like I said, hopefully you've not met this type of guy and you never ever will. Inshallah, you're not in relationships with this guy already, because that wouldn't be good. But for the men watching, if the type of man that I'm about to describe, if this like resonates with you in any kind of way, if you feel like this type of guy is familiar, as in maybe you see aspects of this man in the mirror within yourself, then this is your sign, okay? This is your moment. Purge yourself of anything, any character traits which resemble this type of guy. Get rid of it straight away. If you are him, it's time to do like a recast kind of thing. You need to start again. This is your sign. Please take it. Now, who do I speak of? What type of man am I speaking about? I'll tell you, it is the emotionally weak man. Now, emotional weakness can display in a myriad of ways, but the type of emotional weakness that I speak of is characterized in a very specific type of way. This is the man that can't say no, the man who can't stand to be alone. This is the man that will walk wherever life takes him with no real direction. This kind of guy is pursuing relationships that he doesn't want to be in, is walking you down the marriage route with no intention of being emotionally committed to it. I mean, he will marry you. This type of man has been married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to a woman that he doesn't actually want to be with, raised a family that he doesn't actually want. This is a very specific type of emotional weakness, and it is very, very dangerous, and I'm going to speak about it right now. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you who this man is, why this man is, and how you can avoid him in the future, in the present, whatever you can do to lock that down and make sure that this guy don't come and mess with your energy and mess with your life and love and everything like this, okay? I'm going to be doing these segments kind of frequently from now on. I need like a little jingle or like, let's explore the avenues of the unknown. So if you can think of any names for it, drop it in the comments and maybe I'll make a little nice jingle to go along with it. I'll sing it as well, because I can sing, you know. Okay, let me tell you a little story. There's a guy that I know that I bump into from time to time, okay? Last year, maybe half a year ago, I was speaking to him, okay? So he's a Muslim. He's in his late 20s, single, and obviously he wants to get married. So he signs up to his little dating apps. I don't know, what is it? Muzmatch, not Tinder. Minder, is that a thing? Minder? It's like for like Muslim Tinders. So he signs up to his little dating app and he meets a girl, they get talking, they decide to link up and go on a little date. Let's hope it was a halal date, probably not, who knows. But that's besides the topic. Okay, so they go on a little date. The date goes well. He's very gentlemanly. He pays for the date. He's very complimentary, very respectful. They speak about the future. They speak about each other, exchange niceties. The date comes to an end. They go home. Everything's good. Okay? Now, the next day, this guy comes and speaks to me. I ask him how it went. And he told me that the spark just wasn't there, okay? He knew straight away after this little date that he was not interested in this girl at all. I'm not really feeling the attraction, you know. She looked similar to her pictures, but in person, there was just nothing there. Or maybe she was a catfish, who knows? But the point is, he was not interested, emotionally interested, mentally interested at all in this girl after the first date. which is fine. That's good. You know where you stand. He knows where he stands. Let's crack on and move on. So tell me why a few days later, this guy goes on date number 2, date number 3, date number 4, 5, 6. At the time of speaking, I have to make sure I don't hot anybody up, but at the time of speaking, this individual, and if you're watching the video, I don't really care because I've baited you out anyway and I've told you to man up. This individual is 6 months into courting this woman down the marriage route, basically. And he's not interested at all in the slightest, as in emotionally interested. And he's not got any motives to lie to me and be like, oh, like he secretly likes her, but he's just trying to play it off to me as if he doesn't like her. Like, there's no motivation to do that because I don't know the girl. She's just an unknown person to me. I mean, she does exist, but she's an unknown person to me. Tell me why he's 6 months in to this conquest, so to speak, with marriage on the cards, to a woman that he is not interested in at all. Now, your first signs, obviously, this guy is a bit of a player. Is he a player? No, because he's actually not speaking to any other women. This guy's not serious. I don't know. Why is he playing with her heart? All of these are valid questions, okay? Now, what I said to the guy, it's not one of my friends, it's just somebody that I cross paths with from time to time. What I've said to this guy and what I told this guy is to cut her off, okay? This is after the first time he spoke to her. I said, please, cut her off. If you're not interested, chop it down now. Let her go. His response was that it would be too cruel to do that. He doesn't have the heart to do it. She's a really nice girl and, he doesn't want to break her heart. There's the logic of some people, yeah. Basically, I called him a coward. I've told him you're an emotional coward. You're emotionally weak, man. Man up. You're a coward. You're stringing the girl along. You're breaking her heart. You are actually being cruel. You think that it's cruel for you to let her go. It's actually cruel for you to keep her here for never mind 1, 2, 3 days. You're 6 months into the thing. She's here to probably speaking to her family about this guy that she knows, cutting off all other like possible routes with Abdul and Rahman or whoever it is, yeah, and just pursuing this one thing with you, and you're not even involved in the thing. There is even an occasion on which I took the guy's phone and I said, look, I'm going to text you yourself, snatched his phone, but he had his phone all locked up and stuff like that. Really, yeah, it's not my business. I mean, if the message was there, I 100% would have messaged and say, look, sorry, I'm not interested. Just run off with his phone and just said, look, da-da-da. And I would have saved her emotions, obviously. His phone was locked up, and really, other people's ongoings are not my business, yeah. But obviously, he should have locked it down. Now, the question is, why is he doing this? Any suggestions? If you know why he's doing this already, your suggestions, please just put it in the comments quickly now, and I'm going to carry on waffling, yeah. So let's see what we come up with. Now, before we troubleshoot the problem and find out who or why exactly this guy is like this and what kind of brings about this type of behavior, let me tell you a little story, personal story, because I did tell you at the start of the video that I used to be this guy to some degree, and it's something which I have made sure I've purged from myself. And whilst looking for love, obviously, well, I'm in the situation I am now, happily married, very loyal, alhamdulillah, good marriage, may Allah always keep me blessed. But I've been able to be the man I am by purging character traits and aspects of my previous personality to become a new type of man. Now, I went to a boys' school. There's a very popular boys' school in Manchester. Everybody will know it. I went to a boys' school and didn't really know anything about girls until I went to college. When I went to college one day, I remember little bookworm I am, sat down on the desk doing some work, psychology. I like psychology. Looked up after half an hour. I was on an empty table. Half an hour later, there were a couple of girls sat at the table. I'm not saying I'm anything special, but noticed over time that some girls seemed to like me. Now, I was totally unaware of this before because obviously I just had males around me. That's like the Muslim thing is you send your kids to the boys' school, okay? There's a girls' school down the road as well. The Muslim thing, send your kids to your boys to the boys' school, send your girls to the girls' school and worry about college later. So we got to college. Now, over time, this is like 16, 17, 18 years old. I realized that the more I speak to these girls, the more they seem to like me. And obviously, I'm a human being. I'm a young man. I like the attention. Now, I'd made it clear to whoever I was speaking to at these times, like the girls, the friends, that I wasn't actually romantically interested in them. However, my actions contradicted my statements. I'm not interested in you, but you can have all of my time. I'm not interested in you, but I'll text you at night time. I'm not interested in you, but I'll stay up on the phone. I'm not interested in pursuing you romantically, but you still have my exclusive time. I'll still do all of the things that somebody who was pursuing you romantically would do. My actions contradicted my statements. Now, what happened one day was one of these girls had told me that after knowing, obviously we're friends or whatever, she knows now that she's not going to be able to progress with me. And she told me that she liked another guy. So she told me that she liked another guy and she told him that she liked him. And like, he said like he liked her too. What should she do basically? Now, what do you think my instinctive internal reaction was? What I felt when the girl told me this was, whoa, that hurts. Okay. What about me? I better do something to make sure that this girl's focus stays on me. Now, I didn't do anything about it, but my initial internal response was to make sure that she still likes me. What about me? This kind of perfect image that I have of myself or that you have of me, I don't want to lose that. I need the attention here. I need the perfection on me. Don't deviate and send it to somebody else. Bring it back to me. This was like, obviously she told me, and I had this little process go through me, and I stopped speaking to the girl and said, yeah, you crack on with what you're doing. That's all good. But my initial response was to actually do something about it. To, okay, I bet, why don't I give her more time? Why don't I give her more of my intimate time? Why don't I tell her that or at least dangle a thread of like or something like that to make sure that this attention that she's giving me stays on me? There's like a stereotypical classic thing of, or do you know, like a girl who's put a guy into the friend zone, and what happens? The guy ends up liking another girl because he's not getting anywhere with the girl he's been friend zoned by, although obviously he would like to progress with her because there's no such thing as a platonic relationship. I repeat, there's no such thing as a platonic relationship. They don't exist. So he would like to progress, and when he starts becoming interested in this other girl, what does the girl who friend zoned him start doing? Feeling a bit of jealousy, starts flirting with him, being a bit provocative, being a bit proactive in her response or approach to him. Ask for some more personal time. Maybe I become so touchy all of a sudden. Let's go out. Let's go here. Let's do this. She feels the attention from him deviating, diverting, so she needs to bring it back to her. Okay, now this is something similar to what I felt at that point. That's me as a kid. Okay, as I progressed through uni, young 20s, there were situations I found myself in which, let's say, not like college where you just speak to everybody, but there are some people that would show more interest in me than others. And by default, when these people showed more interest in me than other people, I kind of reciprocated that kind of conversation. Okay, I never really shut it down and said, no. I would talk back if you're interested in me. And this is a type of person, by the way. If you like me, I like you. That's not what I was like, but this is a type of person. If you like me, then I like you. That's not actually that. You're not actually that type, but the attention feels good. So if you like me, yeah, I guess I like you too. Some people who were proactive in their approach to me would get more exclusive time off me than others. And I found myself in situations, nothing haram again, I'm not talking relationships on that, but I found myself in situations in which I was spending or in conversations or whatever for extended periods of time with people that I actually had no interest in talking to or no interested in being with or pursuing romantically at all. I found myself reciprocating conversations. They call me, I'll call you, and just going along with whatever was happening. I know now, just being really, really honest with you, that if I was the boyfriend, girlfriend, haram relationship, whatever type of guy, yeah, and obviously I'm not, because Islam saved me. But if I was that type of guy, and a lot of my friends are like this, and a lot of people I grew up are like this, I definitely would have found myself in relationships for extended periods of time that I don't actually want to be in. Obviously, everybody refers to things as like the honeymoon phase. There's something called the two-year relationship, in which people tend to be in relationships for about 2 years. The first year is all gravy, where whatever, it's the honeymoon period. And then the second year, at the start of that second year, maybe towards the end of the first, you start seeing these little cracks, you start seeing these little discrepancies, you start seeing these little abnormal behaviors that weren't consistent with the first year. And towards the end of that year, it all unravels, and this phase of whatever is kind of gone. So I would have been one of those guys that just kind of find myself in situations that I don't really want to be in, and Lord knows where those would have ended up. Would I have ended up with kids? Would I have ended up with, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know what I would have ended up with, but I definitely, alhamdulillah, that I never did. But I definitely would have been one of those people, because of where I was emotionally, progressing down things and through routes and through channels that I don't actually want to progress down. And this obviously was because of an emotional frailty within myself. Now let's get back to the main point, okay? Why is this guy like this? Now, I've already said to you that I know many men that are in relationships with people that they do not want to be with. I just gave you an example of somebody who was 6 months into courting someone, going down the marriage route, and he doesn't even find her attractive. He's not even physically attracted to her. He doesn't even like to look at her. That makes no sense, okay? Like, on paper, that doesn't make sense. Like, just say, okay, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to do that. Move the other way. I know people that are 1 year into marriage, 3 years into marriage, 5 years into marriage, 10 years into marriage, 20, 30 years into marriage with grown children. I was going to say grown children, but I'm trying to, I don't use vulgarities, especially not on my channel. With grown children, grown families, and they never actually wanted to be in a relationship with the person that they're in a relationship with. Why? There's a reason for everything. Now, just because there's a reason for everything doesn't mean that anything is okay. There's a reason that murderers are murderers. There's a reason that the other type of people, I don't even want to say that, there's a reason that they are like that. There's a reason that people who have these severe mental health problems, there's a reason that they have the mental health problems. Most of it obviously stems from childhood. Now, this person, not just that guy, we're not really talking about this guy, the specific case study that I was talking about in the first instance. We're just talking about this type of guy in general. What is this guy? Who is this guy? Why is this guy? So this is a kind of guy that doesn't really find himself or think himself as attractive. Someone who doesn't really get that much attention from the other sex. This actually also could be somebody that, in my case, gets a lot of attention from the other sex, but just has some low self-esteem and self-worth. This is somebody who grew up in domestic violence. This isn't to do with me. I'm just talking about different types of people. Somebody who grew up in domestic violence. And remember that my job is, I'm a head teacher of a behavioral school. So kids that have special educational needs, kids that have, the sector I've worked in for my whole life is social, emotional, mental health difficulties. So I see the result of the parents, domestic cases, whatever's going on behind the scenes. I see the kid that it manifests. I see the kid that comes of that. I see the behaviors that come of the troubling backgrounds. And in many cases, the parents are exactly the same as the kids. Are exactly the same as the kids. That's the way it goes. This individual could have grown up with domestic violence, could have grown up seeing their parents argue a lot. So for instance, I love you, I hate you. I love you, I hate you. I love you, I hate you. One day everything's crazy, the next day everything's okay. One day they're divorcing, the next day we're just so in love. One day they leave the house, the next day they're cuddled up in bed. And this back and forth thing, obviously is traumatizing for the kid. Let's say that kid was me. I don't like feeling rejected. I don't like being told that everything's okay and then it's not okay and then it's okay and then it's not okay. I just want things to be okay. So when I get that positive attention, wherever that is, I'm just going to keep it. Even if I don't want to be in it, I'm just going to keep it. This girl tells me she likes me. Ooh, that makes me feel good. There's some positivity. I'm just going to do whatever I can to maintain this positivity. So that could be a reason, yeah. Now, there are many reasons that I can think of, really, but I just don't want to do a video listing the reasons. So it could be like a conditioned response to something. But basically, this is an individual with low self-esteem, low self-worth, who is emotionally weak, emotionally frail, emotionally vulnerable. Obviously, there are things that made them like that, but it's not a good way to be. It's not a desirable character trait. It's not a desirable characteristic. That's not a desirable person at all. It's someone that needs to heal and needs to be fixed, not somebody that you need to go along for the ride with and hope they fix along the way, because you're not even the focus of their attention to begin with. Now, why should you avoid this man at all costs? An important question. Why should you avoid him? Why not just go along for the ride? The reason you should avoid him is because he's a liar. He's a coward and he's a liar. There are a lot of things. I'm just going to speak plainly here. This man is an attention whore. He needs your attention. Your attention is what keeps him alive. This man usually feels unfulfilled. He has an image of himself like this self-fulfilling, the self-fulfilling prophecy thing where you visualize what you look like in the future. And he's a million miles away from that. And you, who have given him your affection and given him your time, are the only person that kind of sees him like that. You believe the dream that he's got in his head. You've made it real. You see him for something that only exists inside him and that he sees. He doesn't really see himself as that, but he would like to see himself as that. So he's playing make-believe and running off your attention whore. But this man is a liar. He's a liar and a coward. He had no real direction. He let life take him wherever life was taking him. He didn't decide, I'm going to go left. Life just went left and he just kind of went along with the waves. He never swam against the current ever, even in love. Now, the foundation of your relationship, let's say, look, I said that some people are like 10 years into this relationship, and it's true. Some people are 10, 20 years into this relationship. The foundations of this relationship were built on a lie. He never liked you. He never liked you to begin with. He might have thought you were all right or something, but he never actually wanted to be with you. So now you're in a relationship, let's say that 1 year, 2 year thing I spoke about, and down the line you're seeing these little blips and these little cracks and breaks. And when you're speaking about it, and when you're trying to get to the bottom of it, it's always this. It's always that. You can't really figure out what the problem is. There just seems to be a problem. And the reason you can't figure out what the problem is, and the reason he won't say what the problem is because in order for him to actually address the problem, he'd have to tell you that I never wanted to be with you to begin with. Now, that's a big thing for him to say. If he says that he never wanted to be with you to begin with, well, obviously the question that follows is, well, why would you be with me? Obviously, if you broke up under that kind of pretext or under that context, sorry, you're going to go and tell your family, aren't you? You're going to tell everybody this thing, and this little perfect image that he has of himself, which only exists in your mind, yeah, is broken. And that's the only real positive image of him that exists, the one that exists in your mind and that he's living vicariously through you in reality. You see all of this, doing all of this mumbo jumbo jubbo jubbo. So what he does instead is he just has his little temper tantrums, has his little outbursts, has his little kerfuffles, has his little scuffles, has his little mood tantrum swings, but never actually addresses the issue, and your relationship's just doing this and this and this and this. Every argument, it's not got a real resolution. Every problem, it's not got a real solution. Everything is just a lie, okay? Your whole existence with this guy is based on a lie. But what this guy will do, if you pay really close attention, he'll give you opportunities to leave. Now, what he wants, obviously, like I said, this guy doesn't want to break the perfect image of himself that exists in your mind. He doesn't mind like being a bit here and there, but he doesn't want to break this I'm the guy kind of image in your mind. What he wants is for you to leave him because of you. Let me say that again. He wants you to leave him because of you, not because of him. Because if you leave because of him, then there's a problem with him, okay? And he needs to live the lie. He needs you to leave because of you. He'd like to wear you down, basically. Get to the point where you've had enough. You just need to go. Something crazy happens. You just need to go for you. You need to go for you, for your betterment, for your this, for your that. You need to go because of you. Something to do with you, not something to do with like some error or some big argument or some big blah, blah. It needs to be a you thing, okay? But there's one exception to this rule. There is one exception to this rule. And obviously, look, I'm talking about things that I've experienced and things that I know of, yeah. It's not a one glove fits all thing. Like I said, there are many types of emotional weakness in it, and it displays and is characterized in many ways. But I'm speaking about a specific type of guy. There is one instance in which he will let you leave him for him because of him, okay? This man will cheat on you. He will cheat on you. Now, how does that make sense? If he wants you to leave for you, not for him, or leave because of something to do with you, not to do with him, then why would he cheat on you? 3 reasons. Number 1, I already explained. This man doesn't know how to say no. So when the attention's coming in, he can't say no. He can't turn that little entanglement or that little whatever he's pursuing, he can't turn that down because he doesn't know how to say no. If he knew how to say no when you were trying to progress early on, when after the first date, when you went home and said, no, I'm not really interested in him, and you said, oh, do you want to meet again? He would say no. So this man doesn't know how to say no. He didn't know how to say no 10 years ago. He don't know how to say no now. Number 2, I mentioned already, this man is an attention whore. Am I going to have to blank out the word whore? He is an attention thirst bucket, and he will do anything for attention, for the attention that makes him feel like the real man that he was always born to be and exists inside him. He can't say no, and he's an attention fiend. I should have said fiend the whole way through. But this woman's going to give him some attention. He's going to feel fascinated by it. What? Oh, I'm so special. She likes me. I'm a consumer. I love the attention. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. And I'm going to react to that, okay? And I'm not going to say no. And then the third point, this one's a bit deep if you deep it now, yeah? Let's say you break up because he's cheated on you. That's going to live in your mind forever. He cheated on me and he left me. And look, he's going to tear you to pieces. It's going to give you trust issues. It's going to do all of this for you, yeah? But what was the final image you had of him in your mind? The final image you had of him in your mind was that another woman wanted him so much that he was able to lay down in bed with her. Another woman wanted him so much that he was able to take off his clothes and lay down in intimacy with her for how many times, who knows? The last thing this man leaves you with his broken mind and his broken heart, broken, when I say heart, I mean his broken spirit and broken emotions, because he's a mess. He leaves you with the thought that somebody else viewed him just the way that you viewed him. And even though you're going to leave him now, and even though you're going to break up and run 1,000,000 miles, what's he saying? Guess what? Somebody else wanted me to. The guy's a mess, man. Off with his head. Now, I hope I've not gone on for too long. I know I've gone on for quite a while, okay? It was longer than I expected it to be. I tell you nothing but truths, okay? This type of man does exist, and you need to avoid this type of guy. Brothers, listen, men, my guys, if you're watching this and you recognize any of this, please, man, stop. Yeah? Stop now. This is like nasty, poor character. Like, you need boxing up. Get rid of these character traits. Yeah, sometimes look, we can spot these when we're young, and we can say, okay, well, why do I want this person's attention? I don't even like them. Okay, well, stop talking to them then. When you get past a certain age, listen to me. When you're courting and you're speaking to people, if you aren't interested, cut it off. Okay, people get hurt when they're not somebody's type. Be happy that you're not that person's type. Be happy because you're not getting strung along with. Someone says no, at least he didn't mess you around and take you down the flipping route of nonsense. And sisters, women, ladies, have no fear, because brother Sufi's here. I hope I've not scared you, but there are things that you can do to avoid this type of man, or make sure that you're weeding out the type of behaviors, or weeding out them guys amongst your group of whatever you're looking to marry. Get rid of these ones, and I'll tell you how to do that, okay? Very simple. Firstly, Islam protects you, okay? Involve your family, involve your friends, involve other people to give this guy a once over. You're talking in secret, like, oh, this guy. Look, now in this modern day world, we're all romantic and, oh yeah, I met someone, yeah, he's dead nice. Nobody knows him. And listen to me, women, you guys are dreamers. Okay, I've got a lot of family who we read a lot in our family. Yeah, romantic novels. Look at the kind of literature that is aimed at women. Everybody's looking for an Edward. Little did you know that you just got a vampire and he's sucking the blood dry. And if only you would have told somebody else about it, they would have said something ain't right. Look, we do it too, but we like to live the dream and think, oh, what if? Oh, it could be the one. Oh, does he really? Oh, I'm sitting at night thinking about this guy, and that guy's come to me and said, I don't like her. No, I don't like her. And he's still gone on the next date with you. Involve people. Stop trying to do this romantic novel, love journey, Jane Austen, yada, yada, yada. Involve people, yeah, and have them weed out the nonsense. Second thing, don't be afraid to ask the guy questions. Ask him, am I your type? Am I your type? What kind of girls do you like? Who is your type? The thing about guys, yeah, is they'll always tell you who their type is. It doesn't matter where they are. They'll always tell you what they're attracted to. Some people will still tell you 10 years into marriage, but they'll always tell you what they're attracted to, especially when you're single. Okay, so who's your celebrity crush? I know this is a bit of a daft question, yeah. If the people that he's describing or is attracted to, or that he's following on his Insta, or whatever it is, if they don't look nothing like you, see you later, bro. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of him straight away, because he's leading you down. If he's interested in a certain kind of type and you're not that type, yeah, then why is he wasting his time on you? That's a bit of a red flag, isn't it? What, you like blonde size 12 girls? Well, I'm a Pakistani size 8. If you don't fit the description, that ain't it. I don't know if I had a third point, but basically involve family, involve your friends, involve larger groups of people to assess this individual. I wish, yeah, that I was available to assess everybody, because I can see the nonsense in 2 seconds. That's one of my powers. That guy's full of whatever. Nah, she's on some BS. I can do that very quickly. I just have to look at you for 10 seconds. But involve people, yeah. Men know when men are on some BS. They know straight away. Don't be dreamers. Don't be so naive. Ask the questions that you want to ask early on. Do you know what it is? There's not a question that you could ask early on. If I liked you, I liked Amara, and Amara asked me hella questions, and I thought she was weird with the things that she asked me, and I was like, well, that is a crazy type of question. But it was no question was too crazy or crazy enough that I locked her off, because I really, really liked her. I really wanted to pursue something with her. So if this guy really likes you or is really, really interested in you, there's not a question that you could ask him which is going to scare him off. Yeah? So scare him off, because he's not going to get scared. Okay, I'll talk for a long time. This is the first one of these videos. I'm hoping to do many more as time progresses. If you like this video, give me a like. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Share the video with some friends, and please give me your comments in the comment section. I hope that you haven't come across anybody like this. Women especially, I hope that you don't know anybody like this. But if you have, now's the time. Now's the time. Run. Men, if that is you, now's the time. Skin off, start again. Make sure you leave comments, okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'll see you again soon.